big up yourselves. I'm Ian. This is my YouTube channel called From the Depths. Today's video is going to be about my recommended YouTube channels. Before I go into that, I just want to apologise for the serious lack of content on here. My situation has changed a bit during the pandemic, and I actually went back to work for a couple of weeks to do some essential maintenance so that if shows do happen at the Royal Albert Hall, then we can jump straight back in. So that was so good to see all of my mates at work. Big up my Royal Albert Hall colleagues. I'm really passionate about my job, and I'm also really passionate about performing on stage as well. So I've been campaigning for the events industry, so that's very important for my career to continue. We're all very worried that the industry is going to collapse. Certain things may change. Lots of small venues may not be able to survive. Some big venues may not be able to survive. There's already been some closures, which is very unfortunate. So I've been campaigning for the events industry, mainly using the hashtags We Make Events and Let the Music Play. We need people to sign petitions, contact your local MP to bring it up in Parliament. Also, if you're posting anything specific, tag in Rishi Sunak, tag in Oliver Dowden. Now, Oliver Dowden is the Secretary for Culture. So yes, there was a bailout from the government of £1.57 billion. Some of that has been used already. The Music Venue Trust has expressed their gratitude for some venues being saved, which is great news. I also shared one of their replies to the bailout, tagging in Oliver Dowden, and they reshared my post, and I'm hoping that he looked through that and maybe that helped lead to that. I don't know, but I'm glad I did that, and I'm glad it got reshared. So that money, it's a lot of money. Yes, 1.57 billion is a lot, but it has to stretch a huge amount. There's a lot of culture in this country with live events, with theatre, with entertainment that has to cover. We're asking for more clarity on dates of when this can get started so that we can plan for that and then look at the money. We also would like it if the furlough scheme could be extended for people in the industry. Freelancers as well need support. Freelancers need a lot of support in this industry. They are a vital backbone to our industry. Yes, the Prime Minister has said, venues can open from the 1st of August, but that isn't actually a financially viable option. Just an update to this, the government has already extended that date to the 14th of August. It's currently the 12th of August. Still no updates or changes. We think it will be extended further, I think. Chris Ritty said we're at the brink of where we can open things up socially due to COVID levels going up. And still no support for the events industry. And one more thing. I say great a lot during this whole video. Apologies. I will try to use better words next time. Now, they've already done some experimentation at the Palladium, which only allowed 700 seats to be available. Now, this venue is quite a large venue, and that's a massive percentage taken off. We'll find out more about these tests, hopefully November. Now, them saying November to look at it, well, they're cancelling the furlough scheme at the end of October, so our industry is looking for that to be extended before then. The campaigns are asking for grants, not loans, extending the furlough scheme and helping the self-employed. I know that a lot of other industries are at risk, but we seem to be bottom of the pile, unfortunately. It's because of mass gatherings. Please check the links in the description if you want to help support any of those causes. And I implore any of you who enjoy going to shows, going to the theatre, please sign a petition and contact your local MP. In the description, I've also added an article from Classic FM which describes the 5 stages of going back to normality in the industry, and it explains a few bits on there, so please check that out as well. I believe the tests are testing out stage 4 tests. We're currently in 3, where you can rehearse and do stuff behind closed doors and things like that. But stage 4 is having concerts with social distancing, and then 5 is the next one up from that. So check that out. In my personal opinion, I can't see the industry going back to normal until at least next year. And that's the same for all types of venues. So no one wants to run at a loss. They've already lost so much already. So why is anyone going to put on a show where there's a possibility of losing money? Unless ticket prices go up, venues could charge more for the hire of the venue. You know, is that what people want to be doing right now? People have got less money because of this, and then put the charges up? Not really. We don't want to make shows for elitist people or the 1% or whatever you want to call it. We don't want to do that. We want the venues to be for the people and for the people to put on shows and come. So specifically with hardcore shows, I can't see any of the current ideas working. We all know what it's like. People thrashing about, jumping about, moshing, pylons, you know, taking the mic off the singer. When you think about what's happening, that doesn't work. So I can see some not so legal shows possibly happening soon. I don't know anything. Just saying, I can see that people are going to get fed up and bored and going, I need to go to a show. Oh, you know, this and this is playing over here. You know, just sign a waiver. Hopefully, some more experiments happen and we can figure out if anything can happen soon. But realistically, I can't see it until at least next year. There have been reports saying further than that, and obviously that's going to affect the industry massively if that happens. And we want to save these venues. We want musicians to come back on stage as soon as we can, as soon as it's safe. There are some scientists doing some tests, wind instruments, choirs. Yes, that doesn't relate to hardcore shows, but you can see that there's going to be difficulties there if you have to space people out that much, singers especially. You know, are we going to queue for pylons at a hardcore show? Is there going to be tape on the floor and you have to dance within a bit of tape? There's a video of a rave under a flyover somewhere. Yeah, take a look at that video. I put a link in the description. Absolutely madness. Like, there was the driving concerts, you know. How far are people going to go for entertainment? Or, you know, is it going to die? Hopefully not. There are people still trying to plan shows. Your big promoters, they're still looking to book for next year in the industry. My friends in the London hardcore scene, Ready Eye, are already planning to put a gig on as soon as they can. They've got loads of bands involved for the UKHC return gigs. There's no venue yet, no date, but it's good to have that in the back pocket. And I'm really looking forward to that show. Another reason that I haven't been creating YouTube content is that my son is now back at nursery 3 days a week. So that has allowed me to write some music. And I've been writing quite a bit of new songs for Drop Set. So I've got my other guitar out, my Epiphone Les Paul Zatwell Custom, getting the riffs together. And we've got a practice booked next week. We're going to make a start on putting it all together with each other and then seeing how everything works. Drop Set are looking to get into the studio as soon as we can, once we're happy with the songs, and I'm looking to probably do some vlogging whilst we do that. Okay, so let's just talk about the YouTube recommendations. The main things that I watch on YouTube, so that's guitar, camera, heavy music production, and hardcore. I'm going to list them in order of popularity of subscribers. So the first on the list for guitars is Ola England, Ola the Swede, Ola from the Haunted. It's lots of guitar related things, a bit of vlogging here and there. Ola tests out amps, he tests out pedals, preamps, some guitars every now and then. He has his own guitar brand called Solo Guitars, amazing guitars, so he's obviously promoting that a lot. Software reviews, and he's grown and grown and grown over the years, and he's probably one of the biggest guitar-based channels on YouTube, and I highly recommend it. If you're into metal as well, he does some covers every now and then. He's a massive Pantera fan. You can learn some Pantera riffs from one of his videos, so check out his channel. Highly recommend it if you're a guitarist. The next channel I'm going to recommend is Stay Metal Ray from Philadelphia. He's very enthusiastic, similar channel to Onal, so he reviews gear, guitars. He gets guitars sent to him every now and then, does a review. He's a massive Slipknot super fan, so he does Slipknot covers every now and then. He had the privilege to go and actually interview Jim Root about his signature guitar. He got a Kiesel guitar, which is kind of a mix of some Jim Root models, but in a Kiesel version. A very nice guitar. He reviews software, amps, pedals, and he's not afraid to say his opinion or if he likes things or not. He is also one of the chirpiest looking guys I've ever seen play guitar before. Go check out Ray's channel. The last one I'm going to recommend is Luis Torres. Luis hails from New York. He was taught guitar by Sob from Marauder, and his style sort of reflects that when he's playing. So he plays a lot of chuggy riffs, pretty metal sounding, and he's after that sort of New York hardcore metal tone. And he has a vast array of amps and pedals. He's been on a mission during lockdown to find the perfect overdrive. And he's got a ton of videos on overdrives. If you're wanting to invest in an overdrive, going from cheap to boutique, he's got a variety of videos on there. He recently did a Seymour Duncan pedal that he really likes, basically because you can EQ the tone, which is unusual for a tube screamer or overdrive pedal. I've got one myself. I have a Maxon ROD 881. It is a tube screamer with an EQ and an extra boost as well. He's got guitar reviews on there, changes pickups every now and then, and the amps. He's been adding to his amp arsenal recently. He just bought a KSR Aries, which sounds amazing. Let's talk about camera channels. The main guy, Pete McKinnon, the most subscribers of anyone I'm going to talk about. It's over 4.5 million subscribers. Amazing cinematography, videography, vlogging. Everything looks absolutely amazing. If it's on a phone, photos. He's got some great tips on there. Extremely enthusiastic. And obviously, as he's a main sort of influencer on cameras, companies will send him lenses or equipment or cameras before they come out, and he gets to show them, and he's got some great privileges there because of his status. And I highly recommend you check his channel out if you want to make a start on cameras or anything. My next choice would be Jevon Dovey. I learned some colour grading information off him. He's very good at breaking down a process and explaining it. He's a good teacher. He's very good at reviewing gear and explaining techniques, as well as having great looking footage and something to aspire to for a YouTuber, basically. And he can help out. There's a great video that he did about vlogging tips, which shows you the duck walk. It's something you can do with a phone or an action camera or any camera. If you want to do sort of smooth looking B-roll footage whilst moving, if you don't have a dolly or anything like that, then this is a good way of creating that sort of video. If you want to get into some colour grading, check out his channel. Now the last channel I'm going to say for cameras is David Manning. David Manning's a cool channel. He's got a lot of information on there about action cameras. He compares GoPros and Osmos. He's waiting for the new Osmo to come out so he can compare that with the GoPros. He talks about the settings for cameras in detail. He does really good reviews for accessories for action cameras. Yeah, he did a review for this case, this Ulanzi vlogging case. You've got a hot shoe for a microphone, and you've got this part here, which you can safely install the audio adapter for GoPro, as you have to buy a separate audio adapter for GoPro. And the reason I bought that is because his review is very in-depth and it made sense to me to buy that, and it's been a great purchase for me. Yeah, so he does good reviews. He can compare cheap versus expensive, very in-depth. He does vlogging on a motorbike, surfing, skateboarding, and just general vlogging with his family. Very good quality channel. Right, so let's move on. Let's talk heavy music production channels. First one I'm going to recommend is Spectre Sound Studios, SMG. That's Glenn Fricker's channel. Glenn's great. Glenn is brutally honest. He has some amazing gear reviews. If you're going to go down the route of recording real drums and real guitars, you'd be an advantage by checking out some of his videos and how you can do that. There is a really good video on freeware plugins. So if you're lost, I need some more plugins, he's got a whole list of free ones that will help you along the way. He's very sarcastic. He hates bass players, and he has a great series of videos which is basically stupid text from musicians. Have a look at those. They're hilarious.
How do I tell my singer that he's shit at singing?
You can make him watch this video. I'll do the honors for you. Hey, Mirko's guitar player, you're shit at singing. Time to take some lessons.
The next channel I recommend is the URM Academy channel. This is an accompanying YouTube channel for the actual URM Academy website, which is a music school for metal and rock. This was started up by Ale Levy, Joe Wanasek and Joey Sturgis. Now the YouTube channel isn't, as I said, it's an accompanying channel, but there are some good tips and bits and pieces on there if you're into like engineering, guitars, drums, editing. They have snippets for the Now the Mix series, which is part of their music school, where you can download music tracks from recordings, and then the music school will like help you go through how you're going to process them. So they've got like the Sugar album, Lamb of God, and you can download their, the actual recorded tracks, and then you get to mix them on your own at home. I can quite easily say that in the last 10 years I've learned quite a lot more from YouTube from videos like on this channel. The last production related channel I'm going to mention is Hardcore Music Studio. Now this is another accompanying channel from an educational website to do with recording. This is a guy called Jordan. He does, it's similar to your RM Academy, so he teaches, he goes through the process. He mainly uses Pro Tools. On the YouTube there's drumming tips. Just today he released a tip about how to get a really good metal bass tone, and his website is called hardcoremusicschool.com. Check it out. Right, let's talk hardcore. The top channel that I'm going to talk about is Hey56. This is an accompanying channel for an actual website which is filled with the same videos and more. A massive collection of hardcore bands throughout the years. I think he starts in about 1990. There was a video I watched recently of Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine. His original band Inside Out has got a few of their videos from like 1990. If you're into Rage or Run the Jewels, check them out. You might like it. They're really good quality videos, multiple camera angles a lot. Some of the videos are just drum cams, so it's quite interesting for musicians just to check that out. He was quite successful in just before lockdown over here, mid-March, so I think it was early March. They released a Code Orange concert. It was behind closed doors, so there was no one in the crowd. But they played like they were playing in front of a big crowd, and it looked fantastic. There was some video elements and great lighting in that video. Code Orange isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I can recommend that just for the quality of the video. If you're looking to understand or experience what hardcore shows are about, if you don't know anything about hardcore, I highly recommend just going and checking in on that channel and seeing, you might discover something you might like. The next channel I'm going to talk about is called Stone's Film NYC. This is a channel by Drew Stone. Now during lockdown, quarantine, he has been doing a bunch of videos, doing interviews by video conferencing with a bunch of talents throughout the New York hardcore scene and hardcore scene worldwide. quite long, 2 hours, some of them. I watched one on Matt Henderson the other day, the guitarist in Madball, Agnostic Front. And they did a really good series of really short interviews, which I really enjoyed as well. Drew Stone is famous for directing a couple of movies. He did the all ages Boston Hardcore documentary and the NYHC Chronicles documentary. Both of those are available on Amazon Prime. He also directs music videos and has done various ones in the past. You may know a couple of Madball videos. He was involved in Biohazard. He was involved in like Typo Negative. If you just Google his name, you'll find the list of stuff that he's been involved with. Very knowledgeable director, producer, and has been in the hardcore scene for a long time. Recommend his channel.
Here we go with Robert's tribute to Vinny Stigma. He sent it to me earlier. It's here in the archive. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Boom.
Oh,
there you go.
Wow.
Look at that, huh?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
See?
I got to get him a beer.
Yeah.
The last YouTube channel I'm going to recommend today is the Ruction TV YouTube channel. Now, this is obviously Ruction Records. Obviously, I'm a big affiliate with these guys. And they've got loads of videos on their channel. Go and check it out. There's demos of older bands. You've got actual releases that you can't buy anymore on there, actual music videos on there, and loads of live footage. And I've put some of the footage on there myself. I did the Diction videos and I did the Ruction 20th anniversary videos on there. Go check out that channel. Okay, I've come to the end of this video. Hopefully you like this new angle. I'm enjoying it myself. Got lots of room, nice lighting. Big up to all of you watching this. If you've got any creators out there, keep creating, please. Hope you like those channels. Give them a check if you're interested. Subscribe to my channel as well. Hit the bell for notifications and hit the thumbs up for a like. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Laters.